Do you keep choosing the wrong people? Then let's get into it. Sometimes, even when we're like choosing people who look different on the outside, they still are the same type of people on the inside. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, like we just keep going back to the same old people, the same old type. I don't know what it is. Like if it's just something about that type of person that interests us, that attracts us, right? So I want to talk about that for a minute because I want to talk about the fact that even though we know, like I know, like I'm attracted to people who are tall, intelligent, they have these cute dimples, and they're just, I don't know, there's just something about them that really interests me. And so for some reason, I keep going back to the same old person. And even though I try, they may look different on the outside, but I don't know what it is. It's like this strange thing. I don't know if it's a chemistry or if it's the connection. I have no clue. But all I do know is that we keep choosing the same people over and over and over, even when they look different. So the question is why? Why do we keep choosing the same people? And how can we stop it, right? Because we know those people are going to like hurt us. They're going to destroy us. They're going to do something to make us feel bad, make us, angry. And so why keep going back to the same old people when we know it's not going to work? At least it's not going to work long term because, yes, it may be good for a minute, honey, but I'm telling you, it's going to like fall apart. It's going to unravel. It's going to unwind. And then we're going to be back in the same place, trying to recover from this breakup because we chose the wrong person again, right? So I just want to talk about that for a minute. How do we choose a different type of person? I think we really have to like look within. We have to like really, do some self-assessment, think about why and what it is that interests us about these people. And then think about ourselves, what is it that I'm really looking for? Who is it that I'm really looking for? So that I can really pick this apart and say, yes, I'm looking for someone who is kind. I'm looking for someone who's thoughtful. I'm looking for someone who's generous and supportive. I'm also looking for someone who's intelligent, who's funny. But, my thing is this. You can get all those things. They seem simple to get anyways, but you should be able to get all those things. The question is all the other stuff. Like, I don't want someone who's controlling. I don't want someone who's manipulative. I don't want someone who's narcissistic. I don't want someone who treats other people unkind, right? So when we're looking at all the positives in the beginning of what we're looking for and who we're choosing, we should also flip that over and say, let me pay attention to these other things, these orange and red and yellow flags over here with this person who, when we're at dinner, he treats the waiter or the wait person really rude, or he just doesn't pay attention to them. He ignores them, right? Or he talks bad about his exes or their exes or whatever that is, right? And so it's like, those are the things to me that if we watch those other things that we don't really pay attention to when we're trying to find someone, because we're just like, oh, I like this person so much and they're my type. I think we could be da-da-da-da-da for a little bit, honey. But then, like I said, things start to unwind and start to unravel. And then you realize, here we go again. Same old type, same old person. And then, now I got to start over. I got to pick myself up. I got to make myself feel good so that I can move on. And me, I always say there's lessons learned from every relationship, from every, situation that you're in with people or instance, getting to know people, right? And so to me, you can learn stuff, but then I think one of the big problems with that though, I'll just be honest, is that we learn it for the moment or in the minute, right? And then we forget all that shit, right? When we start going back out there looking for our person, we forget about the shit that we learned from the last time or two with being in relationships with the same type of person. So let me just say this, that just because the rapper looks different on the outside, just because they have blue eyes instead of gray, or they have, green eyes instead of blue, honey, doesn't mean they're different people. They may be shorter this time. Excuse me. They may be thicker this time, right? But there's still the same type of people on the inside. And that's what you want to look for. So let's just say that as you get to know people, and take your time, like slow it down and really get to know people, really observe, like pay attention to what they say, listen to them, watch their actions, how they treat you, how they treat other people, because they always gonna try to treat you really good, especially in the beginning. But you want to know how they treat other people too. How do they like talk about their exes, their kids, their friends, whomever, right? How much time do they spend with their family? Are they close with their family even? So to me, you want to watch those things, and that will help you to determine, is this the same kind of person that I've always chosen? Is this the same type of person that I'm always in relationships with, that I'm always dating? So watch those things, watch their actions, listen to them very closely in what they say and how they treat other people. And I think that'll help you. That'll help you to say, okay, yeah, they look different on the outside, but they also are different on the inside. They're a different type of person, and that's what you want to look for. So let me just recap this really quickly, because to me, dating is where we want to start, right? And then we want to hopefully get to a relationship. And so in this case, it's more about picking the person, doing the discovery and picking the person, and then hopefully dating that person for a little bit, so that you can decide whether or not, the two of you can decide whether or not this is, something that could be long term, right? So my thing is this: listen to what they say, watch their actions, right? See how they, behave towards other people and interact with other people, and then make a decision. Is this a different type of person for me? And is this the type that really may work for me long term versus the type that I typically choose? So I would say that's how I would do it, and that's my 2 cents worth. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be real honest right now. That's what I'm doing today. I don't want the same old person who keeps, hurting me, disappointing me, frustrating the fuck out of me, right? Because that's what happens a lot of times. And so I would say, it works for me, and this is where I'm going with, going forward with trying to find my person. So I think it'll work for you too.